What's up, horse racing fans? Here we are again with another episode of the Inside Post. Today's video, we will be talking Santa Anita Derby for Kentucky Derby prep points on Saturday, April 8th, 2023 at Santa Anita Park. We will be handicapping the stakes races only for Santa Anita Derby Day. We have six stake races on the card, giving you race 5, race 6, race 7, race 10, and race 11 of our top picks, next up contender, and one long shot play for each of those races. Make sure to check out down below of the full betting guide for the entire card that will include how we are structuring our pick fours and pick fives for the race sequence on Saturday. We also have some Kentucky Derby gear and Kentucky Oaks gear posted down below on our link, so make sure to check those out to get you ready for your Kentucky Derby attire. All right, here we go. Starting off with race 5, we're going a mile and a quarter on the turf. This is the first graded stakes race of the day, the Charles Whittingham, presented by FanDuel, grade 2 for 4-year-olds and up on the hillside turf course at Santa Anita Park. All right, we go right off the bat with our top pick in Dicey Mo Chara, British bred horse, currently 5-1 for Leonard Powell, owned by Red Baron's Barn, and jockey again will be Juan Hernandez. We went in here with this pick. I know some of the other horses in here seem to be coming off a little bit better outings. Um, what I was really looking at this one was the 25% rate with Juan Hernandez and Leonard Powell. Um, 2 races back, this horse won the St. Gabriel at Santa Anita, going a mile and an eighth. Um, so I think really sets up in here, has good speed figures, some of the highest speed figures of the class. Is 18.44 in 3 lifetimes. So I think this is a good chance for this horse to even hit the board. Looking at the odds of this horse in the past few races, um, has either been favorite or second betting choice. Then looking out a little bit further, um, just had 2 bad runnings in its last 2 starts, or kind of ran into some trouble in the last 2 starts. Had a rough start in the San Gabriel and was able to win that race. Um, they were 6 wide, I believe, when they were exiting or crossing or exiting the gate. So had trouble coming out there as well. So hopefully we get a decent trip in here for Dicey Mochara at a pretty good price, 5-1, and one that hopefully kicks off a good Saturday for us. Next, we're going with Master of Foxhounds, 5-2, probably be close to the betting choice in here. Um, Coming out of the grade 1, running 6th, and there was beaten by Gold Phoenix, who is also in here. But again, one that seems to be in pretty good form, and a big question mark of what is it going to do. Seems to like this distance and like the Santa Anita turf, so we are hoping that it gets back to Santa Anita and um, really sets up nicely in here. This big horse out of Warfront should have no problem getting the distance. It's ran this distance in all, I guess, 23 starts, but mainly going a mile, or this specific mile in its last 6 starts. So it should be interesting. Um, One to definitely compete with some of the other contenders in here as well. Third pick, going with Gold Phoenix, who's coming off that win last time out in the Kilrow grade 1 at Santa Anita on a good turf course. Going only a mile in that race, so going a little bit extra should be fine. Again, gets Kazushi Kimura back aboard for Phil D'Amato. Posted a big 1010 speed figure in here coming out of the Breeders' Cup turf, finishing 10th, kind of flattened out in there, really had nothing to show. And again, was at a big price. Steps in till the Kilrow and does wonders coming from off the pace. Kind of one of those late flyers, if you would, that should have that same type of running style in here. Big 40% with Phil D'Amato when he uses Kimura on his horses. So should be interesting to see. especially if you like playing the numbers and playing those jockey stats. There is one to consider. And our fourth pick, I put it as a long shot on the board because I did not know what it was going to be because it was 12 to 1 and 18 to 1 in its past two starts. This horse is actually 4 to 1 with Frankie Dettori for George Papadromo. Um, Another one that I'm going to definitely use on the ticket just because I feel like this race is 4 deep, maybe 5 deep if you even want to put in here Midnight Joester. But he is one that we will leave off of our tickets. Again, third last time out in the San Marcos at Santa Anita, going a mile and a quarter on that turf course. Um, should be interesting. Needed to get back above 100 speed figures where it was early on in its allowance time. Just the second stakes race, first ever greatest stakes race for Opry coming in, so should be interesting to see. George Papadramo usually does really well in these Santa Anita Stakes days, so we will see if he's got this one fit and ready to run. All right, next we have, I know it's a weird spot on the card, is the Run Happy Santa Anita Derby. Right off the bat, boom, second one in. Here we go. Pretty good field. Was not expecting 9 runners. I was expecting 6 or 5, to be honest, in this type of Santa Anita Derby. Usually it just seems like that they've had trouble getting horses in some stake races, but 9, awesome. This will be a great, great betting race. And of course, top pick, it's going to be hard to look past the morning line favorite and Practical Move. This horse is sitting on our Inside Post Kentucky Derby leaderboard as the third or fourth pick right now, behind Forte and Angel of Empire. What I've liked this horse has done, it's beat the Baffords. Tim Yaktine has kind of raised this horse, trained this horse all on his own. This is not one of the ones that he has kind of inherited from Baffert. This is all Tim Yaktine and what he's able to do. Ramon Vasquez has been on this horse the past 2 times, and both times have won the Los Al Futurity grade stakes race and the San Felipe, beating out some of the other competitions in here. However, if you go a little further back to September in the maidens, the horse was beaten out by National Treasure, who is in here, but has turned around and beat some of the other Baffert contenders that he's been up against. Second pick, we are going with Go Rocket Go or Go Rocket Ride, 3 to 1 currently. A son out of Candy Ride that is owned by Pinhook Stud and Richard Mandela Train. Flavion Pratt gets the mount again. This horse was the betting favorite in the San Felipe and finished second just behind Practical Move. So interesting to see what this one will do. I think if it keeps getting better, it's going to be a tough beat and one to definitely tie in with your exactas and trifectas with Practical Move. Third pick, we got National Treasure. Here is the Baffert horse that is now trained by Tim Yaktine because of the Derby issues with Bob Baffert. Currently at 3 to 1, gets John Velasquez aboard, who's been on this horse all 4 starts. Was third last time out in the Sham, was beat by Reincarnate, who ran in the Arkansas Derby and was beat there by Angel of Empire. Finished third, posted a career best 101 speed figure, so looks to be a horse that's going to improve coming in here. Hopefully, Tim Yaktine has been focusing on his most prized horse in Practical Move, but I feel like National Treasure will be a horse that's also going to be there at the end. Long shot pick in here. We really didn't have one. We used Mandarin Hero, the Japan bred and trained horse. Interesting to see what this one does shipping over from Japan. Again, some of the stats, again, with the Japan stuff, it's kind of hard to read. But if you look back, the horse is 5-4 lifetime with 4 wins, 5 career starts. So interesting to see if you've been watching some of the Breeders' Cup in the past or the Dubai. Japan has usually dominated those types of races. So we will see what happens here. Again, not really a big priced horse, 8 to 1. So respected the Japan bred and the Japan trained horses coming in. So interesting to see. May use this one in an exacta with Practical Move as a little bit of price. I feel like that horse will definitely be 10 to 1, 12 to 1, not getting much attention on the betting side. Race 7, we move to the Echo Eddie Stakes. This is just a regular stakes race, non-graded here. Coming in, we have Kangaroo Court as our 6-5 morning line and our top pick after those 2 wins from the last 2 starts. Big 107 speed figure, one of the best in this field, and looks to use that speed to get to the lead and put all these other contestants away. Tim Yaktine, again, trained this one on his own, not from Bob Baffert, owned by George Sharp, and gets Flavion Pratt aboard for the second time. Has ran at the Santa Anita dirt in the past, 6 furlongs and 5.5. So sticking with or going a little bit extra here, going that extra half. So we will see. Put in a pretty good work back on April 1st. Should be one definitely to consider and definitely one to use on your tickets. Next up, we're using Left Hand Man 4-1 for Mark Glatt and Kasushi Kimura. One start, broke its maiden in its first start at Santa Anita, going 6 furlongs and a $67,000 maiden. Ran a 97 speed figure, put up pretty good numbers going there. Also pressed the pace, was right up there with the leader and held well and cleared out towards the end. Third, just to the outside, which was Estonian, but he has scratched out as I'm checking things on my phone as I'm going through these. So Estonian has scratched out, leaving us with our long shot and Clovis Connection, which isn't long, but 6-1. Really hasn't done anything wrong except the Gold Rush. Finished 5th in that race. In the Golden Nugget at Golden Gate, won that race. Won an allowance claiming for 50,000 in that race as well as the favorite. So pretty good speed figures. Nothing to like write home about or that's comparable to Kangaroo Court. But just interesting that this horse has been in the money has won 3 of the 4 starts. So that's kind of why we are throwing it in here and using as a bigger ticket. If you need an extra horse, one that we considered was Buzz Buzz with Eldon Maldonado and Steve Knapp. Again, another one that's lightly raced, 2 for 1, lifetime, 2 for 1 and 1, finishing second last time out and breaking its maiden back in February. Again, down below, we will have all of our structures or how we are structuring our tickets for these races. So just make sure to go down and check those out to get our pick 4s and pick 5s. Our next stakes race on the card is actually going to be all the way down in race 10. We have the Monrovia Stakes, grade 3 stakes race for fillies and mares that are 3 years old. This was about 6.5 furlongs, turf course. I believe this is the hillside turf course as well. In here, we are going with Amy C as our top pick. 7-2 currently, morning line for Matacat Stables. Philip D'Amato has trained this one with Umberto Rispoli getting the mount. Last 2 starts, got 2 wins off of those 2 starts. Both of them coming from Santa Anita, both on the turf, a firm turf and a good turf. 3 for 3 each time that she has ran at at Santa Anita, so seems to love that Santa Anita turf. Also, lifetime 10-5-1, so great career stats. Her only flaw really on her card is the Ostonitas, a $100,000 stakes race. This was at Del Mar. She finished 8th, and then comes right back, fires away in the Maddie, $100,000 stakes, and then the La Señada, a grade 3 turf race at Santa Anita in January. So it looks to be the top of the class. Pretty good speed figures coming in, and one that we will definitely use on our ticket structures. Next, we have Big Summer. This is our second pick. Again, looking at her last 6 races, has hit the board or finished first or second in each one of those races. Last time out, failed as the favorite, was beat by Freedom Flyer, who is also in here, the number 11. Again, kind of angled out, kind of got denied, and should not have been that far out, or shouldn't have been really pushed out, is kind of what it looked like on the video. So going back, hopefully this horse runs back to what it did in the Santa Anita filly and mare turf sprint. um, the $150,000 stakes race that was there. Again, seems to be one that is improving on speed figures. So hopefully she takes a big step forward here. I like the price at 5 to 1 currently. Probably should be around that, I believe, come post time. Carla Gaines, Joe Bravo, teaming up with this one. Joe Bravo has been on this horse in those last 6 races, so very familiar and hopefully can find the winner circle. Third, we're going with Tom's Beauty, a little bit higher price at 12 to 1 in here. Won an allowance optional claiming race of non-winners of 2 last time out. 93 speed figure was the post time favorite, heavy favorite in there. Um, Went 6.5 furlongs again on the Santa Anita turf. Uh, but maybe fits best in this type of distance. Again, so far 2023 has done well, 2 wins. So stepping into graded stakes action for the first time for Jeff Mullins. Um, we will see. Sometimes when horses step into grade 3 stakes races, they take a step backwards. So this horse definitely will need to take a big step forward, but I think has the speed in here to run with some of the others. Fourth pick, we're going with Legs Galore just to add her into our tickets. 2 seconds and a third in her last 3 starts, all coming out of Stakes Company. Ran in the Just a Gem, a grade 1 stakes race, finished 5th in there behind Regal Glory and Wakanda. So has some big classes that she's ran in and coming out of. So hopefully she gets back into this graded stakes form that she was once in. Should be interesting. Definitely has some speed figures if you look back what she was able to do over last summer. If she gets back in that form, look out. Legs Galore will be set up for another great summer of stakes racing. And our long shot, we're going back to the inside with Canoodling. Not as heavy of a long shot, but just kind of our fourth, fifth pick of 5 to 1 for Juan Hernandez and Mike Pupe. Again, one that's been ran in 5, 6 graded stakes races. If you look back at her track record, grade 1 Gamely, the grade 3 Wilshire, the grade 1 La Brea, and really has 2 wins coming out of there and hasn't hit the board in the other ones. So if she can win the grade 3 Wilshire and if she can win the grade 3 megahertz, she definitely can come in here and win this graded stakes race. Um, the, the speed figure is perfect with some of the other speed horses in here. It's all going to determine what she wants to do. Looks like she needs the lead. Um, and I think this is a good post position for her to get the lead. Juan Hernandez needs to figure that out and get this horse out of the gate early. And again, not really a big price at 5 to 1 for our long shot bet, but definitely one to use in your exotic wagers for your pick fives. Race 11, we have the grade 2 Santa Anita Oaks for Kentucky Oaks points. And here we have a field of 9 going with our top pick of Clearly Unhinged at 4 to 1, currently on the morning line for Mike McCarthy and Juan Hernandez. Just broke her maiden, $67,000, posted a 92 speed figure, had Johnny V aboard who kind of gets off of her in this race, but gets Juan Hernandez aboard for Rock Brother Racing. Put in a pretty good piece of work back on April 1st, was handily at 59-6, going 5 furlongs on the Santa Anita track. So should be interesting. Coming in off of her second start to see what she's able to do. Definitely going to be up against it because our second pick in Feza, a Gervin filly for Bob Baffert and Flavion Peratt, has not been beat. However, the horse to beat her hopefully is our top pick and Clearly Unhinged. Looking back, Feza again has done no wrong, has improved on her speed figures in her past 2 starts. Has won a grade 1 starlet and 2 grade 3s last time out, both going over a mile. Was the betting choice or betting favorite in each of her 4 starts, and kind of ran into trouble in each one. She was bumped at the start, bumped at the start, bumped at the start in all 3 of her past outings. So interesting to see. I'd hate to see what this horse is able to do when she's not bumped at the start. But she still seems to have good gate break and be able to get up there close to the lead where she doesn't put herself out of it. And with 9 horses in here, I don't see that being an issue where her gate breaks or her bumping at the gate will cause her any trouble. Could be a 2-horse race between these two. Hopefully, Clearly Unhinged gets the better of her. Um, but another great betting race for some shorter price horses. Um, and one that we are not going to try to go too deep. We may use another horse in here, and that is Vaganza at 12-1, a little bit higher price with Mike Smith, another horse, um, making her second career start. Put in a good work on April 2nd, again at the Santa Anita track, went 59-2, going 5 furlongs. This one is Richard Mandela trained for Perry Bass and Ramona Bass. Just interesting, one out of Curlin. um, Again, gets the jockey booking with Mike Smith. Flavion Pratt was on her before, and he obviously is going to jump off and raid Feza. So it should be interesting to see what Mike Smith's able to do. And again, Mike Smith in stake races, um, really nothing you can do wrong, especially at 12-1, a pretty good price in here to use for a trifecta. Window shopping is also interesting. We have Princess Patina, but she's not really a long shot. She's 5-1. To use these two if you have a bigger ticket. But I still think this is a 2-horse race. Probably Princess Patina a little bit more than window shopping. Just coming out of that Chinadal at Santa Anita, but this was on turf, so she's switching back to the dirt. Should be interesting to see what she does in here. But again, 2-horse race. Feza, Clearly Unhinged. Hopefully Clearly Unhinged comes unhinged and pulls out a big victory. So again, we just handicapped the stakes races for Santa Anita for Santa Anita Derby Day on Saturday, giving you our top picks, long shot, and our next up contenders. So for Santa Anita Derby, again, we went with Practical Move. Make sure you check out down below in the description of our full betting guide that gives you our entire pick 4 and pick 5 structures and how we are making those tickets for a little bit lower price and a little bit higher priced tickets for everyone to be accommodated. We thank you for watching. We hope you liked the video and comment down below your best bet. And good luck and have a good day racing.